All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll give it just a couple more minutes as people log in and get settled for this webinar today. Numbers are climbing right now.
All right, sweet.
Great. Well, as people are logging on, we'll go ahead and get started with introductions and tell you about today's program and what we'll be covering. Today's presentation is recorded, so if you have to log off early or you're logging in late, we will have this presentation recorded and will be shared with you after today. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Brooke Schumann. I'm with the TCU Alumni Association, and I'm the Associate Director, and I work with all things related to career in our office. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those specifics, and I'll turn it over to my colleague, Terrence.
Sure, Brooke, thank you so much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're so excited that you're joining us today. My name is Terrence Hood, and I've been at TCU for 13 years, and I'm currently serving as Associate Director for Alumni and Student Athletes. And so I'm housed in our main Center for Career and Professional Development, but since I'm liaison to alumni, I also office out of our DJ Kelly Center in the Alumni Relations Suite. And so I work more on the career coaching side of things, from resume reviews to interview coaching, finding jobs, which is our focus is Job Search June. So I'm looking forward to sharing some resources and some tools that we can do in order to help you find your next, whether you're a career transitioner or whether you're doing a job search. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah, and that's exactly what today is all about. It's what resources does TCU offer our alumni, and how can we help you wherever you are in your career, whether you're a new graduate or you've got 25 years of experience and you're looking for a career change. The Alumni Association, the Center for Career and Professional Development, we are still here for you. It's part of being in the Frog family. So Terrence, why don't you kick us off and talk about what your office provides alumni?
Absolutely. Well, our office provides lifetime services for free. That's right, I said free services for life. And so whether you are here in the DFW Metroplex or whether you are there, I had an alum talk to me recently from Wilmington, North Carolina via Zoom. I just met with an alum in New York City. One was in the Bay Area, Southern California. So no matter where you are, we are still here to provide support to you in your job search. And so we've really been pleased in terms of our job postings. I'll talk a little bit about Handshake in a few minutes, but we've seen a really an awesome uptick in job postings. We posted about 300 jobs one day, got about 300 the next day. So we're vetting those to make sure that they're legit jobs, of course, but in most cases, they're all degree-related jobs, and we have entry-level, some mid-level positions. We just posted a job for an MBA alum or a BBA alum or a senior director of human resources. So we have the full gamut of experiences represented on Handshake. Brooke will talk a little bit more about Horned Frogs Connect. That's also another job board that are using specific for alumni. But what I provide is your resume reviews. The most requested appointment is resume reviews for alums, but that's not all we do. We do offer help with graduate school, personal statements. We help you with LinkedIn. I call LinkedIn the new resume. Over 90% of employers use LinkedIn / social media to find their applicants. So it's no longer about just having a resume. Now it's about, are you on LinkedIn? What's your virtual footprint like? Are you visible on LinkedIn? So we do LinkedIn coaching. We also help you with interview practice and preparation. We have a tool called Big Interview, which I'll share about as well. That's an online interview practice tool for alums who may not be able to meet with me in person for the coaching. You can still do practice and learning about possible questions by industry anytime, day or night. So we do resume reviews, interview coaching, LinkedIn, job search strategies. And you need a strategy for your job search today like never before. So my goal is to help you find your next, or my job is to help you find yours, if I can put it in simple terms. Job search strategies, and also one thing that's a kind of a side service is employer referrals. One thing I've been doing more than ever, especially the last year, is connecting alums with other alums that are actual recruiters. So I'm going to also show you a tool that we're beta testing called Employer Alumni on Handshake that I can see on my end. We're beta testing it, so I can show you who are alumni that work at various companies that are also recruiters that are on the platform that are posting jobs. So I'll be able to share that with you as well. So the full gamut, where there's career assessments. So if you're thinking about a career shift and wanting to know what do I start with all that, we offer career assessments for alums who are transitioning or thinking about what's next and what that might look like in terms of specific tangible career plans and career options. Assessments, resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn, job search, interviewing. If you name it, we pretty much do it. I hope I covered all the services. But with that being said, Brooke, would it be okay if I went ahead and dove into Handshake?
Absolutely. In fact, we already have a question from someone about setting up a Handshake account. So if you could kind of talk about that, this person in particular, it says they graduated in 2013, and when they have tried to set up their Handshake account, it ends up requesting through their TCU email, and they don't have access to that anymore. So if you, sometimes it may be a specific case-by-case scenario, but if you kind of walk us through that today, I feel like that will help get us all started.
Absolutely, Brooke. So if you go to our website, I'm going to actually log out. I'm going to see if I can show it to you. I'll actually show it to you and tell if that's helpful.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen, Brooke?
Yes, I can. That's a lot of files.
Oh, do you see all my stuff? Oh, do you see the Handshake?
Not yet.
Login?
Not yet.
Well, let me stop sharing and make sure I got the right one on here. Let's see.
For some people, they were like, they're ready to go over and take over your desktop, Terrence. Now we can see Handshake. You're set.
Okay. Yeah, my desktop is, all the things. But
hey, as long as you know where everything is, we're fine. Okay, but we can see it. You're good.
Absolutely. But for all of our alums who are new to Handshake or trying to get your account set up, the website is tcu.joinhandshake.com. We do have an app, app.joinhandshake.com as well. So definitely recommend downloading our Handshake app. If you are brand new or logging in for the first time, what I recommend doing, this is very subtle, don't click on this big blue tab here. This is for our current students. We put some language here. Alumni, please select the link below. So it isn't as obvious as it could be. So many alums are clicking on the blue tab and it says log in with your Okta single sign-on. You no longer have that as an alum. So if you come down here, sign in with your email address, this is the fastest way to get access to Handshake.
Okay. So you don't necessarily have to have access to your TCU email anymore.
Not necessarily. You can use your Gmail, you can use your Yahoo, or if you have TCU email, that will work too.
Okay.
Right. And once you log in here, there's actually a pretty simple process. If you're a new user to Handshake, there's going to be about a 1 or 2 day approval period. So you go into a pending status. We have to verify that everyone's alums. I had a crazy random person trying to hack into the system that was based out of Russia. Now, I know that's a whole different conversation. The email was weird, but we did some homework. The person was not an alum. So we have to be kind of careful with our data. So there's about a 2 day waiting period. And once you're approved, you get the notification and you're free to use the system.
That's great.
All right. Do you have any other questions so far, Brooke? I want to make sure.
Not yet. I think if you want to show us what it looks like once you get logged in. I know your view is a little different, but.
Absolutely. And I actually pulled up, I have a separate account as an alum.
Oh, great.
So it's a mock account. So this is how alumni will actually experience Handshake. So once you log into the system, again, there's about a 2 day period when you go into a pending status. Once you're approved by my office, here's what you'll see. You'll log into Handshake. And there's a couple of things I want to really demo for you all to get the most out of the system. There are some who are on Handshake, but they're not really maximizing the benefits of the platform. So as you can see here, what can we help you find today? The system is really set up to, it's based on your activity. So the more you're searching for positions and jobs, it's going to start filtering options your way based on your search. The algorithm is all based on your activity. So as I'm coming down here, I'm already seeing upcoming events. Our career fair is coming up in the fall. We have a career fair September 15th and 16th of this year. September 15th will be our in-person career expo over in the rec center. Yes, hooray, we're all getting back to in-person events, but they're going to also keep our hybrid, our virtual component. So we're going to always probably have a hybrid event situation to complement the in-person event. So we have events coming up here. Here's new jobs recommended for me. So I've been kind of playing around with the system and doing a job search, and I'll demo that for you as well. And the more you are active on the system, it'll start showing you things that you might want to take advantage of. Here's some specific roles that I might want to consider. They're on-campus jobs for more of our current students, recommended based on my activity, popular and your major. So all these things are filtered based on my activity, and you'll see that when you log in instantaneously. So if you're new to the system here, the first thing I recommend for homework is to fill out your Handshake profile completely.
Okay.
Why does that matter, Terrence? Glad you asked. You would not really do half of a LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for a job, LinkedIn should be fully complete. So as it goes with LinkedIn, we recommend that for Handshake, fully complete profile. And our employers on the system also have the ability to search profiles by alumni as well. So having a full profile, this shows that you are visible to employers. You also have the option of making your profile not visible to employers. So it's up to you. Most of the alums don't mind sharing their profile with our employees, but you can totally turn that notification off. So to do your profile, you're gonna come up to your little name here and just go to my profile. So this is me as an alum, which I'm not. I just set up a fake mock alumni account. And you see here, shows me my profile is only half complete. So the more that you're on the system, and it gives you all the steps here, I need to add my documents. Now, if you want to upload your resume, you upload your resume. Mine is actually already shown on here. I posted my resume already here, but I'll show you that in just a moment. But typically, you're going to put everything that's already on your resume. And then once you upload the resume, it'll pre-populate all these different fields for you. So it takes out all the work. You don't have to literally type and copy and paste, so to speak. But here, my profile is visible to employers. And so you can actually change that anytime by going to settings. And so again, employers have access to your profile. There's also messaging here. See these messages at the upper top corner. Employers can message you directly from Handshake to inquire about scheduling an interview, learning more about the company. So I recommend being visible so employers can find you and also message you directly. And then you get your status update here. The more you fill out your skills and your documents here, and if you upload your resume again, all of that will be populated for you. The goal is to see 100% completion. So that's my first homework assignment. If you're not on Handshake yet, once you get access to the system, fill out your profile completely. And the second thing I recommend for everyone is to actually fill out your career interests on the system. So you're going to come down here and just go down to where it says My Career Interests. And the purpose of this is to help Handshake help you. Is how I describe it. So how do you see those jobs that are showing up in my main feed? Jobs you may like or careers based on your activity. If you come here, if you're looking for full-time, just click full-time. How can they help you? What do you want to pursue? Are you interested in grad school? Building your network? Types of programs, types of majors, types of roles, all these things are designed as these jobs are posted on the system. You're going to get the algorithm and say, hey, here's some jobs you may want to consider, all based on your activity and all based on your career intersection. And if any of this changes, go back and change it on your profile because you don't want to keep seeing things that aren't relevant. Most tell me, I'm seeing random stuff. I'm not interested in that. Why am I seeing that? Maybe their career interest profile is either incomplete or it's lacking. Maybe you haven't updated it in a while. So maybe every few months or so, make sure that your interest profile is fully complete. All right, Brooke, any questions so far?
Not yet. I think this is really a thorough walkthrough. I think that's, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A as Terrence and I are walking through today.
Absolutely. Well, the next I want to show you how to make an appointment with me. I do offer coaching appointments. Again, we're transitioning back to in-person appointments. So we're offering in-person, Zoom, or phone appointments. No matter where you are, you have access to a career center. So to schedule an appointment, you're going to come here. There actually are two ways, but I'll get right to the most popular way. You can come right here to the Career Center tab in the middle, or go up to this Career Center tab at the upper right, whatever you prefer. I'll just go here to the Career Center tab. And you just scroll down to the Appointments tab here on the left. And you go right here to schedule a new appointment. Now, all of you should be seeing TCU alumni. If for any reason it says no appointments available, I've had some alums say that, they see it and they freak out. There's no appointments available. That's not true. What probably is the issue is your account, once it's approved by me, I have to actually label you as an alumni and assign you to me on my side. So if you ever see no appointments available, email me directly or call the Career Center. We'll make sure we get your contact information. It's literally 2 clicks on my end and that fixes it. So don't freak out. I am available, but we do get that chance. Nothing's available. What's up with that? But when I'm finished with my 2 clicks, you should be seeing TCU alumni as an appointment category.
And so this is the best way to remind me now, when someone goes into a selected appointment, they can pick a time directly that works for them. So they don't have to go back and forth and email.
Absolutely.
Time
Brooke.
next week, what about Tuesday in the afternoon? They could pick the time that you have available.
Absolutely, Brooke. And how you do that, it's a good segue. You click on the alumni category here. And then here are all the different appointment types that we offer. So I mentioned we have cover letter we do, also case interviewing, career assessment. To get your assessment results, you'll come to assessment interpretation. If you do schedule an assessment, LinkedIn, we do offer help with salary and job offer negotiation strategies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Resume reviews, but for the job search, I'll just click here, for example. And here's my calendar. So you'll see all of my availability here. So for tomorrow, I am a little bit busy. I have one spot open at 3 o'clock. So you click the little arrow here. Let's see, keep clicking. Let's see, June. I'll do tomorrow. You can come here and just play with my calendar and my dates here. From the 21st, this is next Monday, have some openings here. On Mondays and Wednesdays in the summer, I will be officing in the Harrison building. That's our main Center for Career and Professional Development. And then on Fridays, I'm officing in the Kelly Center, which is the Alumni Center. But whenever you make an appointment, it'll filter directly to where I am. So you don't have to email me, say, Terrence, where are you? For example, here, if I go to Monday and I want to meet with me, you want to meet with me at 10 a.m., here is your medium. So where do you want to meet with me? In person, it goes right to the Harrison. We're in Suite 100. Or if you prefer phone or Zoom, it's based on your preference. So I'll just do the Harrison here. You give me a quick little reason why you want to meet with me. Doing a job search, am I hearing anything? Do we have any employer connections? Give me a little bit of context so I know how to serve you better. And once you're done, you go to request and you get an email with a date, time, location. And so if you're on Fridays, if you go here, it'll say the Kelly Center, but this is on a Monday, so it's saying the Harrison. So my in-person appointments are on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. My Zoom appointments are all week. So you can.
And for those of you who may not be familiar, the Harrison is one of our newest buildings on campus. It actually opened this last year in the midst of the pandemic. Timing is everything, but this is our new administration building. This is kind of a lot of the offices that were in Sadler Hall previously have moved over to this beautiful new building that is almost at the corner of Berry and Stadium, but it's kind of close between the McDonald's and Stadium now. So next to the new admission building, it's beautiful. And we're so lucky that the Career Center is on the first floor of that building. So great opportunity to get to campus. So we just had someone mention that they kind of kept landing on no appointments available. So it sounds like we need to address that with you and get your account updated. So that was really thorough. So Terrence, you're showing us how to set up the job search appointment. And for someone who is joining us today who wants to switch careers in the job search process, but they know that it might lead to a resume conversation, a cover letter session, is this job search the right place to start, or should you start at the resume and then talk about where to go? Like, where should one start if they just feel like they're going to need all the services?
Brooke, it really depends. Every appointment I've seen, some of them transform into other things.
Okay.
So someone could say, I'll just do job search, and it could be just focused on the resume.
Mm-hmm.
It can say career advice. It can just be on the assessment. So I'm pretty much open, whatever you think is the most appropriate appointment type for you. If you're just getting started, I recommend start with the job search or start with the career advice. In most cases, it might transform because the alumni set the agenda.
Got it.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So with maybe updating a resume, do you find that one session is enough, or is that kind of a two appointment times?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brooke. Yeah, it just depends on how far they've come with their
Mhm.
resume. In most cases, I've had some alums who do 2 appointments with me for a resume, the initial coaching, then a follow-up. So at the end, I'll always say, what are your next steps going to be from here? Mostly I'll email you the resume. Once I make the changes, I'll make another appointment. It can totally be a one and done situation based on how thorough we get, but these appointments are rarely one and done. So as often as you want to do a resume review, you can do those as often as you need to. Some alums do email me their edits.
Mhm.
Sometimes email are tricky because I'm doing all the things, all the other meetings. So I recommend doing the appointment, whether it's once or twice, is not really a limit.
Great, that's wonderful.
Yeah, great questions. But any other questions so far?
Not yet. So if you want to keep on moving through, I'll double check.
Absolutely, Brooke. So let's talk about the jobs here, which I think is going to be pretty important for our session today. So I am live on the platform as an alum. And if you look over to the left here, it shows me how many jobs that are posted. We have over 9,000 jobs posted on the system right now, which is indicative of, I think, what the economy is going. We are really seeing an uptick in job posting for all across the majors, all across fields. But if you want to filter your search, 9,000 jobs is a lot to look at. The easiest way is to come over here and just go to all filters. You know, if you're an alum, you might be more curious about full-time. So you click on the full-time button here, and I'm down to 8,200 jobs. So we have quite a few full-time openings. But if you want to get more specific, you have some suggestions here. You can filter by industry. So I'll just do financial services for this demo here. We're down to 30 jobs. You can filter by employers. You get a couple of suggestions here. You can filter by major. I recommend filtering more by industry than major because many employers are open to all majors. It's not necessarily you have to be business or you have to be, you know, communications. So think about filtering more by industry and less by major. You can mix and match, of course, but you're probably going to see if you do more major, you might see less results, which can be kind of frustrating. I don't see anything. Be more open to filtering by industry or job function. That tends to yield more results, if that makes
Can
sense.
you also search by area? I can't remember if that's like if you're wanting to stay in the Houston area, is that another filter available?
It should be, Brooke. Let me look up here. If you go to the More tab, let's see, this is for the types of positions here. For graduate school, we have grad school opportunities here as well. But let me actually go to see job role. I did financial services and then employers, employer
I feel like I've seen
preferences.
it once before.
Absolutely. Let me go to the show results tab here. So we have 30 results here. Let's see. Oh, actually, it's on the location here, Brooke.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yep. So let me do that. So let me see if I find something for Austin since it's listed
Yeah,
there. Oh, we have one job in Austin.
there we go.
So
But
you
that's
can
really
totally.
helpful, especially for some alums who, whether family situation, whatever it is, or they want to, or they know they want to relocate to a new area, to kind of
Absolutely.
start with, I want to look at the jobs available in the Houston or the Austin area. And then they can be more broad going the other way.
Absolutely, Brooke. So we have three jobs currently in the Houston area. Now you can filter by any city, state, or location. We have some jobs that are posted internationally as well. You can also come to the search feature. You can filter by virtual or remote positions. Many of our jobs are on the remote side of things, but many are going back to the in-person. So you can use your main search here for keywords or filter by location for a city, state.
Looks like we just had a question about that specifically is, can you filter on jobs listed that are remote or on-site or hybrid, which I think, gosh, I think that's all I've seen on the news is how many organizations and companies are adjusting after this last year and realizing that some work can be done in a hybrid situation or having that flexibility to work from home, or that's just become a new necessity for that company or the culture of how they do things in that organization to offer flexibility. So It's a good
Absolutely.
question.
Great
We
question.
had another question, and I know on Horned Frogs Connect, and we'll be able to list that in a minute, but the question is, on Handshake, is there a way to search for TCU alums in various industries? And separate question, can you search Handshake for jobs that are posted by TCU alums? I can't remember. I know you mentioned that the recruiter technology is there, that we're, doing a beta test on that for TCU alums who are in a recruiting role. But can you answer? I know that there are two questions at you.
Oh,
so
sure.
Totally different. I can repeat too.
Oh, good question. Let me go back to my main page here. So to the first question, Brooke, if I understand it, they're asking if they can research a TCU alum on Handshake.
Right.
Got it. So it's a yes answer. Let me see if I can show you the filter here. You can actually go to the community tab. And it says explore students here. One thing is kind of a caveat, heads up, Handshake uses lots of student-specific language. So you may not see lots of alumni language on Handshake. It's kind of how the system is wired. But we do have alums. We have over 4,000 alums who are registered on the system. So alumni can use the platform, but lots of the language is kind of student-focused and student-targeted. So don't let that distract you. There's still lots of opportunities here. But we have a tool here, Brooke, that many people don't know about. So here are, and actually with Handshake, our alumni have access to all of the employers on Handshake. There are over 400,000 employers that are using Handshake nationwide. However, we have about 3,000 plus that have made TCU a preferred school.
Okay.
So some employers
awesome.
only want to work with us, but most employers have access to all the schools across about 800 universities nationwide, but you have access to over 400,000 employers, and so do I on my admin side. So it's really more than just what you see here. I hope that's a little bit of context to how many employers you have access to on the platform. But to come here, actually, Brooke, so here's all the folk. Now you see here's somebody at Georgetown. So you have access to students and alumni, not just at TCU, but at other schools, because this is a nationwide database. If I want to come here and go to TCU, let's click on that. So for the students and alums who have said, I want to share my profile, here they are. Again, you have the option to opt out of that. You can say, I don't want to share my profile with alumni or employers, but they have made that option available. Now, here is a recent grad here, Leland. You can message that person directly. If you go to their profile and say something, I'm curious to learn more about that. So you can literally message them directly through the platform. Now I'm going to do alumni only. Let's see what I get when I do that here.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes. We have quite a few.
That's great.
Yep, you can filter by major over here. So just all that are common communication or all economics, you can filter.
And then going to the next questions, we have got a few questions coming in now to keep us moving. Is there a way to search for jobs that may have been shared by an alum? Is that a feature that's available at this time?
I think currently actually on my side, on the admin side, I'm able to share with you who posted the position.
Okay, but maybe not for a user experience.
Right, I don't think that's available at this time, but if you meet with me, I'm always happy to share my screen. I've done that several times recently. Oh, I've applied to a job at Nike. I've applied to Lockheed. Could you tell me a little more about that? I said, sure, let me share my screen. Here are our contacts. Here's when they shared it. So if you ever meet with me, I show you all the things on the admin side to give you as much context and as many names of employers that we possibly can.
Okay, great. So the next question is from, it sounds like an MBA alum, and I'm not sure about this. I feel like I knew the answer to this. They want to know if Handshake is different from the TCU MBA alumni job site, or is it combined now? Do you know?
I believe they are separate.
Okay.
Right, under the separate platform that our MBA Career Center friends are using. Now, many of the MBA alums are also using Handshake. That's totally fine in terms of job postings. I'm meeting with some alums as well. So to my knowledge, there are separate platforms.
I think that's right. I know that they were looking at combining at one time. And so I think there's just filtering the alum went one step further, trying to, decide whether not Handshake or the MBA site is a better option, I say they're all great options.
Absolutely.
And we're going to show you another option too. And I think as overwhelming as it can feel, I think having the opportunities to make those connections on, you don't want to rule out any place to search, in my opinion. So.
Absolutely. Great questions.
Okay, next question is for someone who is really interested in the assessment or the career exploration resource, the meeting that you spoke about. Is that an appointment that you would recommend completing an assessment prior to the appointment, or is that information that you send them? What's the process on the assessment career exploration appointment?
Absolutely. Great question, Brooke. So what I recommend is making an appointment for an assessment inquiry.
Okay.
That's our fancy name for it. So if you come to the Career Center tab, I'll walk you through that just briefly here. And if you go to the Appointments tab over here and schedule a new appointment, TCU alumni, I would recommend go to the assessment inquiry appointment type. Now, some have just done career advice and that led to the assessment conversation. And that's fine as well. If you want to take a career assessment, you can do, again, assessment inquiry and schedule that with me. Check my calendar, it takes about 30 minutes. I'll give you the assessment codes based on the one that fits your situation.
Okay.
We have one for interests and one for personality type. So they're separate assessments. Some take both assessments. So when you make that appointment with me, I give you the full context, get a sense of what you want to achieve. Then we determine together which one is best for you. Then you'll do the assessment. That's the second step. You come back and you're actually going to come and schedule an assessment interpretation, which is right here. So the first appointment could be assessment inquiry or career advice.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. You will take the assessment on your own time, all online. Last step, you'll schedule on Handshake and then schedule assessment interpretation. And then I will actually interpret the results with you during that time. So you can't see your results until you meet with me. I typically will email it to you about 5 minutes before we meet, or if you come in person, I'll print them out before you get here.
Great. Good. All right. I think we've caught up on our questions. If there's anything else you wanted to share on this side.
Yeah, and there's one last thing I want to share here. I'm going to actually change my view to the admin view. I want to share with alumni that we're actually beta testing a new feature. Handshake is asking various schools to beta test what's called employer alumni. And I'll show it to you here. So I'm not sure how long we're going to have it, but I think it's going to be very helpful. So the purpose of this is to show alums who is a recruiter on Handshake that's also an alum.
Awesome.
So instead of seeing, oh, how many people work at so-and-so company, who is on the system that's posting jobs, that's in a recruiter role? So us and several other schools are beta testing this for the next month or so. So when you meet with me, I'm happy to share my screen. I met with an alum recently who came to the Kelly Center, pull this up, look for some employers. So if you come here, what I'm able to do on my end is filter over here by company. But for example, Adam McAdoo, he's a recent grad at TTI, a former athlete. He's now been recently promoted to a recruiter. He logged in 3 days ago to post opportunities. So if you have employers in mind, I can come over here and type in an employer here and show you who we have. That's an alum, that's a recruiter, that's actively using the system.
And those are great resources, especially if you're interested in a company and maybe there's not a position that's open right now, to go ahead and reach out and make that connection, kind of an informational interview that you're interested in working at that company or that industry and you want to learn more about them. And these are great resources for you.
Absolutely. We're
I'm
beta
so
testing it
excited about
out.
this.
It's been really
Yeah.
helpful so far, but yeah, that's all I have for Handshake. Let's have other questions or
Yeah,
happy
if
to
you
demo anything else.
absolutely. And again, keep the questions coming. Terrence and I will continue to field those. And I'm going to take a few minutes and share with you the Alumni Association side and our resources. Let's see, sharing screens. What did we do before this? I just don't even remember. All right, taking you guys over to Horned Frogs Connect. For those of you who are not familiar with our platform yet, this is our TCU exclusive professional networking platform. It is open to all alumni, students, and faculty and staff. We relaunched the program just over a year ago, and to include our faculty, staff, and students. And we have high hopes for this next upcoming academic year to really bring in a greater audience of the on-campus community, and connecting them to our alumni base wherever you are. And I'm so excited about this opportunity because working in the Alumni Association, but having worked at TCU and lots of other areas, and in the admissions and orientation on the student side, one thing is always rung true is that TCU people, it makes us unique. And one thing we all love to do, no matter where you are in your stage of life, frogs love helping frogs. So if it was you met a neighbor who was going to TCU for the first time and you had great advice to share, if you meet someone at a game, or, oh my gosh, you went to TCU, and you love sharing your experience and advice. And this platform is to connect people no matter where they are in their career. If they're, a brand new Horned Frog, a student on campus, to someone who has years of experience, to bring them here in this exclusive professional setting. We highly recommend, when you go to create an account and get started, to sign in with a LinkedIn account if you already have one. It's similar to LinkedIn. It's not replacing LinkedIn. We definitely have an alumni group page on LinkedIn, but there are features that LinkedIn does not have, that we were missing and that we needed this platform for. If you sign in with a LinkedIn account, it'll pull in your professional information so you don't have to spend as much time entering some of that in. I'm logging in as an administrator, which has access to everything. And so I'm going to share that to you today, but know that when you log in later, it may look a little bit different. And the reason being is everyone, as an alum or a student or a faculty staff member, they have access to the communities that are relevant to them. So for example, if I was not in the administrator role or the faculty staff person, once upon a time when I was a student at TCU, I was a member of the Adrian College of Liberal Arts. So I would definitely have access to Adrian College, but then I was a double major in the College of Communication, and then I got my master's in the College of Education. And so whatever your experiences are is tailored to your experience on the platform. So when you log in, you'll notice right away that it looks and feels like some other social media platforms. You've got lists of tabs here on the side, and then other resources alongside the feed. The feed is customized based on what you have access to on the platform. So because I have access to every page, I may see things that are posted privately in different groups throughout the platform, time and time again. People are sharing information. Like, for example, Rebecca shared a position exclusive to the College of Science and Engineering group that she wanted to post, but she shared it in several different pages because she really wanted to appeal to a lot of audiences. I'm going to take you around. This was a question that kind of came up earlier about the jobs and filtering by alumni. So we have an agreement with the Career Center office. We're better together. And so we nightly are pulling in positions to the Horned Frogs Connect from Handshake that we think would be relevant to this audience. And then they're further tailored as you go into different schools and college pages. So some of these positions are full-time, some are part-time or contract basis. They are from all over. And then some are posted directly onto the platform by alumni. And so I'm going to show you a couple right now. Here's an internal IT auditor. This is posted by Clayton Thomas, and he's a great volunteer with the Dallas chapter. And we're so thankful that he shared this full-time position with the organization that he works with. So let's say, for example, that you're really interested in Holly Frontier Corporation, that you click on this information and it takes you to the website, but you want to learn a little bit more before submitting an application. What makes it personal, and I think that question earlier, is that this alum has shared this position. So you can click on Clayton's information, And you can send him a message right here on the platform and saying, "Hi, Clayton. I saw that you shared this position on the platform. I'm really interested in learning more about Holly Frontier companies. Would you be willing to have a quick phone call with me, or a Zoom, or a coffee?" And you can message him directly in the platform. You can also see that Clayton logged in with his LinkedIn profile, and so all of this information from his LinkedIn profile was shared. So it's a nice comfort that you know who posted the position, and you're making that immediate connection that you both attended TCU, and you're kind of doing some informational questions before you apply for a position. I think that kind of makes it more personal, and you know a little bit about what they're looking for the job. And if you were a savvy watcher, you probably noticed that as an administrator, I had access to his address and email. As a user, that information is hidden, and so you're only messaging someone directly within the platform. But let's go over to the directory. Maybe you're trying to get in touch with people from your year or your industry. Those are all things that you can filter within the platform. Or looking to see who is offering help. And so this is where we differ from your experience maybe on other social media platforms. Look at these purple flags. These are signs of people who are willing to help. It's over 75% of the users on this platform have raised their hand virtually, saying they're willing to help others. And I love that, because I just think that just really shows the TCU way. And one of the funny things is, as I've been doing these presentations for current students or young alumni and encouraging them to also offer, to help others. And they're like, "Well, I have nothing to offer because I'm a young alum and I just started my job, or I'm a student." And I'm like, "Oh, quite the contrary. If you have, as a current student, you may want to talk to someone who just started at that corporation versus maybe someone who has 15 years experience, or you want to talk to both." And so I always encourage everybody, because it's the Horned Frog way, is definitely just raise your hand. And it's great to have that opportunity to know that someone is willing to chat with you about their industry. So let me click on someone right here. I'll click on Sid Aker. And he said he was willing to help make professional connections, open doors at his workplace, or answer industry specific questions. And again, you can message him directly through the platform. You can also send him a request for a video chat or schedule a specific meeting all right through. The video chat is a relatively new feature on the platform. And again, it's something that technology-wise you can do directly in the platform. So you can see who's online and maybe who was on recently with these color-coded dots. I know that Terrence is on. I saw that he was logged in, or other friends across campus, Aaron Harris, who is also a career consultant, Dean Zorana Jones, Dr. Jones. And so if I wanted to send her a request to do a video chat within the platform, it would send her an email through the platform requesting to do a video chat. It wouldn't just be like a Zoom pop-up. So there is some barriers within that. So let me take a little sidetrack back to the job board. Again, you can filter by industry, function type, or what industry and employment type, if you're looking for part-time, full-time. Someone asked the question about the remote or hybrid. I think that's another really great idea for a filter. So I'm going to take that to our developers. I think that would be a great way to search. And of course, we have positions at TCU, where TCU is hiring again. So we have lots of jobs that are opening up, and we're excited about that. Let's head over to our groups page. Terrence, do we have any questions yet about Horned Frogs Connect?
I don't see any so far, Brooke.
Okay, great. We have something for everybody on the platform. Again, I'm an administrator, so I have access to everything. So it may look a little overwhelming, but I do want to point out, hang on, I'm going to scroll really quickly to the bottom. Every school and college has a page on the platform. And so when you join the platform, you'll automatically be filtered into your school and college. So for example, I mentioned earlier that I'm a graduate of AdRan. And so this is a great way to try to connect with other people from your college. And you can come over here and, filter by major. And it doesn't automatically filter. There we go, political science majors. And so we have 274 alums and students who identify as being a political science major. And whether you're a young alum or a student and you're looking to connect, or if you are an alum who's looking to connect with people who have maybe shared experiences and studies. But as Terrence mentioned earlier, it's sometimes better not to search by major, but more industry and what you're currently looking for. So under work experience is where you would want to filter from there. So if you're interested in getting in touch with someone who's maybe working with a civic or a social organization, well, that was a bad example. Let me pull over here. Criminal justice. Oh man, coming up with zeros here. Government. Definitely knew we would hit that. There we go. So you can see there's somebody who works at the Department of Justice, different legal offices, House of Representatives. Just again, you could spend hours trying to, connect with somebody of something that you're interested in within your school and college. And sometimes we'll have alums post jobs directly within the platform. In the fall, we hope to see more engagement with different schools and colleges who will be hosting alumni-specific events and putting that information here directly on the platform. We also have a link to all of our alumni events that are coming up. This is our event today. Summer is typically a slower month, and so as we kind of gear back up for events in the fall and hopefully more in-person events, all of those will also be here as another opportunity for you to find out about what's going on at TCU.
And Brooke, we do have a question that just came in. This is going back to the groups, actually, Brooke. We had a question. Someone that graduated from the Cheaper College of Communication, but they now work in business and healthcare. Will they be able to see those groups on the page, even though they didn't graduate from the business school?
That's a perfect example. Obviously, Schieffer graduates can work in various industries, whether it be education or government or oil and gas with your skill set. So you wouldn't necessarily have access to the school and colleges, but we have industry pages. But you would have access to the full directory of everybody who's involved or who is an alum or student at TCU. And so if you're looking for someone who perhaps isn't a graduate, or excuse me, is a graduate of the institution, but they haven't registered on the platform, there's still a way to try to contact them through the platform. If that kind of took it a step further in trying to answer that question, but you wouldn't have access to the college, but there are industries like frogs and energy, which that's a crossover of so many different maybe degrees, whether it's business or College of Science and Engineering or College of Communication. You can major in just about anything and then land somewhere else. So absolutely, I had a long conversation with an English major who is in a recruiting position at Cook's Children's here in Fort Worth. And so she wants to be involved with all the healthcare majors at TCU. And so we were talking about how that would benefit her on the platform. So very good. All right, let me head over here to the Horned Frogs Business Directory. This is something that we hope to continue to grow here in 2021. If you're like me, I love supporting frog-owned businesses, and not just here in Fort Worth, especially after 2020 and all the things of this last year. I'd love to see how I can support other people. And so this is a growing directory of Horned Frog businesses near and far. And if you're traveling and want to try to connect and support with another business, but if you know someone who owns a business who's a TCU alum, definitely tell them about listing their business. It's free for them to share their business information right here on the platform. And so we hope to continue to help and share those businesses for other alums. And then resources, which is a growing tab for us on the platform. We actually have a lot more than 3 webinars. I'm going to be putting the updated links. Terrence and I have been doing alumni career webinars a lot this year since everything was virtual. And so you'll have today's presentation, last week's presentation. You're going to have the links to all of these. And so if you missed our presentation last week with our guest speaker, Hallie Crawford, about updating your resume and does your resume pass the 10-second test, that would be a great resource for you if you're trying to get started and you want to request an appointment with Terrence. Maybe watch this presentation, get your stuff together before you meet with Terrence, or vice versa. Just a lot of other great resources, alumni career, alumni resume and cover letter resources right here. And this is going to continue to grow as the platform grows. All right, let's see, what other questions do we think we might have? We've covered, we just went right through almost a full hour with so many details. I think as people are continuing to bring in questions, I think the most important thing we want to make sure that we do a better job at TCU is letting know alumni that we have resources available to help everybody, no matter where they are in their career. If you're a young alum, or again, if you've got 25, 30 years of experience, we're here to help you. It's not just a 4 years and go by, and it is a free resource to all of our alumni. And so we're thankful for that opportunity and hope that we can continue to be a part of your journey. We had someone request the link for Handshake, and Terrence just put that in the chat. Awesome. And I can put Hornfrogs Connect. So if you haven't created a profile on Hornfrogs Connect, definitely head over there and activate your profile. All of you are alums, and so you have the opportunity to activate that and reach out and become a resource for others while you yourself are starting on your job search.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Brooke, if I may also, I'm going to also put one last resource here for alumni. This is our alumni component to our Career Center main website. If you go there, you'll see some additional resources for career changers, our resume guides on there. Now to share my screen here, just for a quick second here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to show you all what you'll be seeing here. So you go to that link, the careers.tcu.edu/alumni. Here are some additional tabs here. And some alumni really would just have a quick question. They can't make an appointment, just have a quick question. We have a fairly new feature here, is ask a quick question. You just come here and fill out the information on yourself. Ask me something, what are services available, or how often are you available for appointments, or what are some grad school resources I should look into, or salary negotiation website. So if you can't do a Handshake appointment right now, we have other options. You can always email me, but when you do this form, it goes right to my email. So we want to give as many portals to get access to my office and the Career Center as possible. And up here are some additional resources that we put together just for alums: LinkedIn guides, networking guides. Here's a sample resume guide for alumni, some additional websites for career changers. I mentioned Big Interview. So right here is our Big Interview tool for those who want to get some interview practice, or learning more about how to answer common questions. There's questions for career changers, inappropriate questions. How do I tackle that? How do I tackle questions that may be common, tough questions, entry level, mid-level, senior level? Thousands of occupations are out there, or thousands of industries, I should say, hundreds of occupations. So we do offer interview coaching, but if you come to Big Interview here, that's an online tool that's free that you can learn about common questions and practice recording your responses on video, audio. You can send me a link to it. I can critique it for you. All the things are available. So we just launched this platform last year. It's been very helpful for those who want to take the practice appointments to another level, do some more homework and get some additional practice in, just for practice or if they're preparing for an actual interview.
I love that. That's such a cool tool. Very good.
Right.
All right. I think we've covered everything. Do you think, Terrence, are we good?
I believe so. I think we covered the full gamut of all the things.
We have. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you found our tips very helpful for you, no matter where you are in your job search. Please reach out to us. Let us know how we can be helpful to you in the future. And go Frogs.
Go Frogs. Have a good day, everyone.